This is long overdue. I've had a hellish few weeks of travel and vacation and all sorts of shit getting in my way, but I have been itching to talk about Mega Man. Let's talk about the Blue Bomber. There's a lot of videos out there talking about Capcom's mistreatment of him and his abandonment, and sure, there is some truth to that, but I want to talk about his future a lot more than his present. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. I do think that the winning formula for the future of Mega Man looks a little different from how most of the fans of Mega Man franchise see it. And I hope with my entire heart that Capcom eventually sees it that way too. I'm going to talk about this with my whole heart. As we typically do on this channel, we have nuanced discussions on gaming. If you like that kind of stuff, consider subscribing and hit the like button to let YouTube know it too. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna say it. The next project should probably be related to X instead of classic Mega Man. I grew up in the era of both, but X added a maturity to the franchise that matched the fan base. It was kind of like Mega Man grew up with us. And don't get me wrong, like some of those characters like Bass and Treble and even Rush, they were amazing. But like Wily, most of his bots, all of it started to feel just a little bit childish, and continuing the story past Dr. Light and Wily into a future where they were able to stand on their own and make their own decisions. To me, this is where Mega Man shined the brightest, in my opinion. It wasn't too convoluted, but it also wasn't too simple. Just the right amount of story and setting. X wakes up in a world full of robots who have gained full sentience, and they were pissed off that they were the descendants of slaves. So they wreak havoc under the banner of a leader promising them independence. X understands it, but he can't condone the violence. So he says, run them hands. That's it. Everything else is just layers on top of that. Why do we need to go back to the simplicity of an evil scientist who wants to rule the world and a goody two-shoes doc who uses Mega Man as a weapon of good? Do we really need to fight Plant Man and Power Man and Blade Man all over again? I just made one of those up, but they're all so basic that you can't even tell. The anthropomorphic enemies of X's world, they offer some level of whimsy. Zero and the rest of the supporting cast, they offer a bit more edge. And the setting gives you a reason to care more than generic bad guy wants to rule the world. The second thing, this might be kind of a no-brainer, but the next Mega Man needs to be a full 3D game. It can be something close to Legends in look and feel, but with the speed and challenge of something like Armored Core 6. I didn't really start to feel passionate about this until I started playing Armored Core 6. The big open environments and the speed in which I'm engaging hordes of mechanical enemies, and that's in both long range and close range encounters. This could also allow for some different play styles between characters like Zero and X. We're going to pretend Axel is not a part of this conversation. I think some of the other traditionally 2D franchises that broke out of that prison with success, like Donkey Kong and Kirby, those are kind of the guideposts to follow, and it worked for them. This is probably the most important thing that Capcom needs to do with the Blue Bomber. It would completely revitalize the franchise. And because it's X, you'd have reasons to go explore an open area. You know, go find an E-Tank hidden in some cave guarded by a mini-boss who was kind of hard to get to. Go find a heart tank to increase your health that was on some insane platforming puzzle to reach. Or maybe solve a puzzle to upgrade your armor from Dr. Light's capsule and get new abilities. This format works. I'm getting hyped up over a game that doesn't even fucking exist. Anyway, it's obvious that the traditional facets of X lend itself to a third-person platformer / shooter very well. But the one thing I feel like should not be sacrificed like it has been in some games like Donkey Kong is the difficulty. It doesn't need to be like brutally punishing, but something along the same lines of like an Armored Core 6, where there's a bit of challenge, but being asleep at the wheel will get you killed. That's one of the most identifiable parts of Mega Man, whether it's X or otherwise, honestly. None of them were super easy. And the truth is, they don't really pull the punches. In games where difficulty is a factor, get more and more love these days. There's a way to balance a barrier to entry where it won't scare off the casual players, but it won't bore or alienate the longtime fandom. Kirby managed to do it with Forgotten Land, so I'm positive that Capcom can do it with Mega Man. If there were a new 3D Mega Man game announced, honestly, my first concern would be the difficulty. I'd be scared that they stripped it out. Mega Man can be super punishing, but then be made easy if you know the boss order, and the end is usually very tough. And I think that it would be very, very important to maintain that formula if they do ever decide to do this. So, the future of Mega Man as we currently see it, not in my wish list. This is where I start to sound like everyone else. Collabs, where either he or his abilities make some kind of cameo, a short form animation, rumored live action movies being made by a complete douchebag Mattson Tomlin, and absolutely nothing from Capcom themselves as they continually say, we're considering how to move forward with him for the 19th year in a row. Mega Man is effectively dead, and it's frustrating. It's really frustrating for the fandom. People are saying things like Pragmata is the spiritual Mega Man successor, and I'm sorry, that is just cope. I don't even know how to begin to justify that line of thought, but I'm not going to poop in people's cornflakes. This is the one thing that Capcom has continually disappointed me with, and I fear that they will only make safe moves in fear of wasting money on projects. And understandably so. But the game that I just described feels safe. If they can stop making Street Fighters and Resident Evils long enough to give acknowledgement to their flagship character and give him some real love, we would show up with wallets in hand. Let me know if you have similar thoughts about Mega Man, or maybe I'm way off base, but I think that this is the right move for him and Capcom and the fans. Am I wrong? Tell me. I needed to get this off my chest because it's been sitting in there for years at this point. I really miss Mega Man. But I want something new. And sure, people are still begging for things like, the Legends ports, or do something with Mega Man Zero. There are other things that they need to do and re-releasing the properties that they have already made. But I think that it's important to look to the future of Mega Man, and the future of Mega Man doesn't necessarily look like the past. And I don't know how others feel about it, but this is my love letter to Mega Man, and this is my wish list. I hope that it comes someday, and I swear the day that I die is the day that they announce the new 3D Mega Man X game. That's just how it's going to happen. Full 3D. I'm a rotting corpse at that point. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. And long live the Turtle Kingdom.
Iris! 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 Ah! No, this isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on. What am I fighting for?